was telling everybody that
we're rolling.
Okay.
Definitely keep going.
What up, boy?
Hampton, my friend.
Yes, sir.
Happy you're here, dude.
Yeah, man.
With the bucket hat too.
Yeah, I just got this bucket hat like last weekend. I went to this festival out in Columbia, Tennessee. I got booked to play, all right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I was like, oh, you know, I'm gonna get to play, whatever. Well, come to find out, I get there, and I was a closing EDM DJ, and come to find out, I wasn't gonna get to play at all, really. So I show up, whatever. Like the first first day, Friday, it was like heavy metal and stuff, and then the second day was like rap. And on the first night, after the heavy metal was over, they let me and I brought my buddy Shrimp Jack out to play with me, and we got to play for like 10 minutes. And as they were like shutting down the stage and like packing up, I was like, this is silly. So then the next day I was there, I stayed all day long, like Shrimp stayed with me, and then Shrimp's like, I'm tired, I gotta go home. And whatever. And so he left, and dude, I was supposed to play at like 11:30, didn't get to play.
That's kind of like similar to what happened to me.
Yeah.
At that festival in Kentucky. Like,
What? Oh, you talking about
we're in the woods.
We're in the woods.
Yeah. Yeah, it was unfortunate, like, because I felt like I was like on the same level as people that got to like play on like the main stage and stuff, but they were gonna like initially like they were gonna have me play on like the side stage.
Right.
You
would have stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when it was actually time for me to play, like the guy that brought the CDJs, yeah, he had to go. So like, I don't even blame him. Like he had to go.
Did he take the CDJs?
He took the CDJs, and yeah, I mean they brought out some Denons.
Dude, was it Denon CDJs?
Yeah, I think so. Which I should know how to play on, but at the same time, it's like Pioneer's at the standard, and I'm not gonna like try to figure out how to play something on the fly.
Yeah.
It was that, and then also like no one was at it, so I was like, I'm not gonna do this. I'm not about to waste my time.
Yeah, my buddy Dylan Briggs, he has a setup with Denons, and he's got this house that he lives in with his girlfriend, and they rent whatever.
Yeah.
And the name Living Room, so he has this production company called The Living Room, and it all started because we would just go over and DJ in his living room for hours and hours and hours, and he has Denons, and I hate playing on them, dude. It's just, you know,
different.
It's different, you know. I mean,
I'm used to
like record box type Pioneer and whatnot, but now Denon has this new thing for like when it's sunny out. You know how like when you're outside at a festival or just playing outside and it's all sunny and you can't really see the screen.
Mm-hmm.
They have like a setting on there now where it's like instead of it being black, it's white, so it makes it to where like the sun doesn't glare onto the thing and you can see the screen.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, so I mean that's cool. And I don't know. Pioneer just came out with a new board.
Really?
It's like a 14-channel board, dude. And then they had the little beat pad thing on the side.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check it out. I think Denon is actually. I remember the mic is right here.
Yeah.
So, I think Denon is actually probably better than Pioneer. It's just that like Pioneer's standard. That's what they have in all the clubs. That's what everyone uses.
Yeah.
And so like. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just one of those things like I need to learn how to play on it, but I really feel like if you're having a festival, you need to have out like Pioneer equipment at all times.
Yeah. I've seen at festivals and stuff like on like social media and stuff where they have like multiple different boards on stage and they'll just like move out like, you know, one, they'll have like a Denon. I've seen they'll have like a, you know, different CDJs, and that's pretty cool. Because like not everyone wants to, you know, everyone wants to use the board they like.
That's true.
I use an X.
That's a good idea. Actually.
Yeah, I use an XCJ though. Like that's what I have in my house. And it's not a bad board at all, you know.
Yeah, it translates well.
Yeah.
If you're playing on CD.
Oh, very much so. But for the longest time when I first started DJing, so I first started DJing back in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
2020. I started DJing around 2020 during COVID. My boy Zach Origin, he got me hooked up with some decks or whatever, and I didn't know what deck I was doing.
No.
And he taught me how to DJ, man. I'd hang out in my parents' basement because I was living in my parents' house at the time, and I would just DJ for hours and hours and hours. I went and bought like a big ass speaker, DJ for hours, man. And my parents would get pissed at me because I'll be DJing at like 1, 2 in the morning in the basement. You know, I didn't know what the heck I was doing there. I didn't even know that you were like supposed to like have the same, you know, BPM and whatnot. I was playing like 80 in like a 170 song and it wasn't working, or like, you know, 140. And so I just kept practicing, and finally I got good at it. And then I played my first show at, unfortunately, 404. And it was with Foster's crew. I don't know if you know who Foster is. He has a company called Future NT. And they manage like Hyper and stuff, but they used to do Wobble Wednesdays every Wednesday at 404. And they have another guy, Ben, who's a part of the project too. But
I met you at 404.
Yeah, and I played at Wobble Wednesday my first time ever, dude. And I brought my own decks, like my DDJ 400 and my computer. And dude, I didn't know what the heck I was doing really. Like, it was a terrible set, probably.
I mean, props for you for just, you know, having that courage. And,
yeah.
You know, it's not easy, like, you know, being an artist,
yeah.
You know, and like going out and performing in front of people.
Definitely.
You know, especially when you're like new and you don't really know what you're doing. That takes a certain amount of courage.
Oh, dude, I was so scared, dude. Like the whole like.
And that's everyone.
The whole day at work, I was like,
Everyone comes out the first set, and it's probably gonna suck.
Well, half the time when I play, I'm scared at first. You know, like I get nervous, like butterfly. Yeah. And then, like I hop up there and I start playing. Like, okay, I'm feeling the groove. I'm feeling the vibe.
I was talking about that with someone. It's so weird. It's like it happens. It still happens to me. I mean, I don't get like a shit ton of shows, but like every single time I step up, or like the day of, like, I get these like heavy, intense butterflies, and then as soon as I start playing, like it like comes back to me. I'm just like, I know how to do this. Why the fuck am I doing this?
Yeah, right. That's what I was saying. This one time, I was at last year. I got booked to play this festival called Anything Fest, and like Nature Dog and Logan, they brought out their speakers for that. So during the day, like was rap and whatnot, and then late night was the EDM stuff, and it started like 11 o'clock or whatever. They had Liney come out to this festival, and there's probably like 30 people for his set. You know, like I didn't know who Liney was at the time, and I heard this guy, and I was like, this guy's pretty fire. And he played on the main stage, and it wasn't Logan and Nature Dog's setup at the time, because their setup was at a different location on at the festival. And Liney played, and the speakers fucking went out. Damn. Yeah, it was bad, dude.
That sucks.
Dude, it sucks because I wish he would have played on Logan and Nature Dog's speakers, because their speakers are fucking crazy. They slap so hard, and dude. But right before that set, I played at 4 in the morning. Yeah. And there was a bunch of like these Belmont, like Paul's kids in the crowd going ham. Like they didn't know EDM that well, you know, but they were having a good time. But right before my set, dude, I was so nervous. I almost passed out.
Jesus. Yeah, it'd be like that.
And also it was probably because, like my anxiety was probably high because I had like 6 energy drinks to keep me awake. Because like I was staying sober at the festival because I knew I had to play.
Every single time I see you at an event or something, you're going hard in the paint. Hard in the motherfucking paint. All the vlog.
Yeah, so like, I like going hard, and like, I've you know, I like to drink. But I've kind of
honesty.
Yeah, and I've been trying to cut it back. You know, I don't drink like during the weekdays, but like on the weekends, like I get to Friday, I'm like, I need that Friday beer, and it's just like,
dude, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
I feel like when you are heavily drinking throughout the week, and it's just like you come home from work and you're having like a fucking 6-pack, or like what's the point? You know?
Yeah.
You're just turning yourself into an alcoholic. You're gonna be dependent on that shit. And alcohol is a serious drug. Like, I mean, it's a depressant, and like I don't think people take it seriously. And even though, like, you know, you hear about all these people that become addicted to drinking alcohol and stuff, and getting in accidents and stuff, and like getting in fights, but like people don't really seem to care too much because it's so widely accepted in our culture.
Yeah.
Whereas like weed, on the other hand, just like makes you chill as fuck, right?
Oh, definitely.
But like for the longest time, like we're just now getting to the point where like weed is becoming acceptable in our culture. Yeah. Like weed was the outlaw drug, but alcohol was legal. Like I don't know. It's fucked up. Like,
I will say though, like being in the scene, like I got into the EDM scene around like 2019, I believe. Yeah, but yeah, being in the scene around Nashville, it's like I just see a lot of people that like
Or just in it to get fucked up.
Yeah, in it to get fucked up, and it's sad, man, because like I'm there for the music.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, I get fucked up and have a fun time, but like I personally go to shows where I know the DJ playing. I'm not gonna go to something where I don't know, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But like, there's nothing wrong with going and hearing new music and like new DJs. But like, I don't know. I go to most of the shows that I will enjoy. You know, like I know.
Yeah, going and like supporting the DJs that you know is awesome. I need to do a better job of that. Like this year, I've kind of taken a step back from going out as much because I want to like work on my own.
Yeah, and you
music
made a
and
bunch
stuff.
of good music.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But you know, it's also cool to like because I feel like when you're like a local DJ, like I feel like you got more of those songs that are like in the cut.
Yeah.
You know, so like I'll see you play or I'll see Dylan
Yeah.
or Zach play,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta figure out what this song is. So I write it down. Like I've gotten like a few songs off of you.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, dude.
I was like, damn, I need that.
So I thought I was gonna have to quit DJing. I lost my flash drive, right? And I didn't have it backed up on anything. I had like over 1,000 songs.
Tis.
Yeah, on my flash drive.
Tis.
Well, it actually worked out for the best that it happened. Because
Yeah.
so I lost my music. So then I switched over from deep dub, which I still have deep dub and I still play it, but I started doing drum bass. And that has been going insane. Like every time I play my shows, like I played a show in Knoxville, okay, about 2 weeks ago with the Living Room crew, and I played like deep dub for 30 minutes. In the last 30 minutes, I played drum and bass, and everyone went nuts for the drum and bass, dude. It was crazy.
I still haven't figured out like the draw to drum and bass.
It's coming to America,
But like a lot, like now more than like ever in the past, like I feel like drum and bass is like that thing. Like,
Yeah.
people are really digging it right now.
Yeah.
And my friend Jackson Corsi, he actually showed me a few songs that I really liked yesterday. So I don't know, maybe at the cover I'll drop some.
Yeah, that'd be cool if you made a drum and bass song. You know, I've seen some like deep dub DJs making some drum and bass songs, putting it out just for the hell of it. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's always good to just like try new things.
Yeah, I don't know. Drum and bass is cool though. It's coming, you know, to America, but like some of these dubstep guys, like the bro steppy guys, are trying to make it, and it's like not the same as like if they're making over in like UK or something. You know?
Yeah.
Because like UK drum bass is like they have two little drummers, so they have like the 85 to like 90 BPM, and then they have like 160 to like 175 BPM, and like the 160 to 175 BPM is like heavy, like you know that heavy drum bass, and then the 85 to 90 is like that real chill drum and bass, and that's what I like.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like melodic-y and stuff. Like they call it like liquid drum and bass.
Yeah.
So like Smoke Lane, for example, those guys, they do the liquid drum and bass set. That's their side project. So they have their deep dub, and then they have their drum and bass side project where they do liquid drum and bass, and it's so good. Every time I
check it out.
Yeah, dude, it's awesome, honestly.
So you said you had some crazy stories from Soundhaven?
Oh,
I want to hear this.
Oh man, Soundhaven was a trip, man. So I had a great time and a bad time. Lost my keys. Lost my phone.
Okay.
And
What else did you lose?
that was about it.
You lose your mind?
Yeah, I lost my mind. So first off, let me just state, Jared. I like Jared. You know, he's a good guy. Sacred Hive, they're good guys. But the way that the festivals run, it's all just about the stages and the music. Nothing about the campgrounds. Nothing about like the people. I feel like it's just solely based on the music, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if he wants to have like a really good festival, I feel like he needs to put emphasis on the campgrounds and all that as well. You know, if it's gonna last, because like I don't think a lot of people are gonna come back next year.
Think so?
Yeah, a lot of people won't come back because some people waited 18 hours in line
I heard about that.
because they were putting gravel. They had to put gravel down on the road so people could drive their cars in, and that took a while. But no, yeah, the crazy thing was I lost my keys in my phone, and I just was like, fuck it, I don't really care. I'm just gonna let the music, you know.
Did somebody post about it online or something and say I found it?
Yeah, well, so there's this thing called the Sacred Hive Family on Facebook, and Jared was like, these are some of the things that were like found, you know. My phone is on there, man.
Nice.
And I already got a new phone at that time, you know.
Oh shit! So you're trapping now. You got 2 phones.
Yeah, man.
2 phones.
Yeah. But I don't know, man.
I see where you're coming from, and I wanted to go this year, and I feel like I probably would have been pretty upset with how like it was initially handled.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's like Jared and like Sacred Hive and Soundhaven, like I feel like they're like the last like I don't know, kind of like underground type of bass music community, and like it's me like actually working a festival like for the first time at Deep Tropics. Like I kind of have like this like new little like outlook on it.
Yeah,
it's hard.
Yeah,
and it's expensive. You gotta pay a ton of people, and like I don't know what his team's like. Maybe that's something that he can improve upon, but like I still have like respect for like what he's trying to do.
It's tough, dude.
Yeah,
like man, like running a festival is so hard.
I see where he's coming from too. It's like, okay, you throw this festival, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's already expensive as shit.
Yeah.
Right? Then COVID happens, right? Which shuts down everything.
Yeah.
And so like you're in a situation where it's like, okay, like we have to make this happen, or else we don't know if we can throw another sound.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
I haven't talked to him, so I don't know like really what the deal was. But like I feel like if they would have canceled this year and had to like issue refunds for anything, that would have been it.
Oh yeah, well definitely.
That would have been it.
Definitely.
And so like, although a lot of people were frustrated, although some people deserve some refunds, like I think that like I see where he's coming from.
Oh,
you know, and like in the long run, I don't know, maybe he can do something for like the community, like offer like the tickets are already cheap.
Yeah.
But like maybe he can offer like some sort of like I don't know, like some sort of like gear or something, like a shirt that you can pick up for like as an apology or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I really want Soundhaven to keep going.
Oh, dude, they do a fine job of putting underground people on.
Yeah, like the artists that are on there, they are all good.
So they have the Couch Collective stage and Waweetalkinbout. Those two teamed up with Sacred Hive to do Soundhaven this year. And Waweetalkinbout is like, you know, they do like jerseys and merch for the artists. And then Couch Collective is from North Carolina. And it's kind of like a Sacred Hive kind of thing. They throw like deep dub shows and shit in North Carolina. And they had brought a stage there. And they had like their own sound system and stuff. And they put a bunch of like underground people on there. Like Lily Valley was on there. Brokaw was on there. Who else was on there? There's some Chattanooga DJs on there that are underground, you know.
Spinchilla. Yeah,
Spinchilla. Yeah, he's pretty fire, man. Like, you know.
I met him when I was going to school in Chattanooga, like forever ago.
You never know what kind of set you'll get from him, you know. He does it all, like deep dub and rhythm and all that.
That's it. He was actually like the first one to like kind of like show me what a DAW is.
Yeah.
Like when I first downloaded like FL Studio, like I really needed like
some help.
Yeah. Especially back then. Like now, if you want to learn how to like work Ableton or FL Studio, you can find a course online. Yeah. Back then, it was just like all like YouTube videos, and they weren't like organized. You know, people didn't have them in like playlists. It would just be like, hey, this is how you do this in FL Studio. It wasn't like, okay, this is what this does, this is what this does, this is what this does.
There's so much to it.
Now, like, there's so much information out there, but like back then, he actually like took me under his wing for like a few days and like showed me some shit. So I appreciate him. Shout out to Spinchilla.
Yeah. My boy Matt, he lives in Chattanooga. He goes to UTC.
Oh yeah.
And he goes to their venue up there called the Dark Rose, and he said one time Spinchilla played for 4 hours.
I couldn't imagine. I can barely get past like an hour before I'm so tired of shit.
Well, dude, like I'll play for like an hour, and it's like that hour goes by so fast, you know, when you're playing. But like if you're at a show and you're sitting watching somebody play for an hour, it feels kind of long sometimes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's so strange because like when you're up there playing, dude, it just goes by so fast.
Yeah, it really does.
And it's insane.
But it's crazy like how much energy it takes.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't like, because I feel like when you're DJing, like you're keeping rhythm with your body, and so your body is always moving.
Yeah, and your brain's always working. Like, what's next? Like,
your brain is firing the whole entire time. You're looking at the crowd, like trying to manage so many different things. It could be drinking. Yeah. If you're drinking, that makes it even harder. If you're high, it makes it even harder. Like,
Definitely.
It's 4 hours. That's
Yeah.
respect. That's tough.
So yeah, I got my production company, Zaps Productions, and I'm gonna tell y'all how I became Zaps and all that.
Yeah, tell me how.
So I was out at the lake, and I just got my XDJ R, and I was like, I'm with my boy Matt, and I was like, man, what if I do a show out here? Like, maybe just like come over to the lake and just like set up my decks and just play for like my friends. And then I was like, actually, like I can do a full show out of this. And then like I threw my first full show, and it was crazy. So many people showed up to the lake, and it
Was this the one that I played at, or was gonna play at?
No, I think this was my very first one, and then it rained around like 7 o'clock, so we all had to leave. The lake, and so we're trying to find somewhere where the rest of the artists could play. So we went to Jared's house.
That was the one I was gonna play at.
Yeah.
And it started raining. And couldn't play.
And Jared threw the rest of the event at his house, and dude, there was like 130 people at his house, dude. It was packed out, man. It was like the craziest thing ever, dude. And I remember like, people were like, "Hey, where you at, Hampton?" Because like I had the decks with me, and I was like, "Oh, I'm on the way." And I was like riding with Jay West and Matthew, and Matthew was pretty drunk. Hang on. And he was the one controlling the maps. Like he like looked up the address. He put the wrong address in.
Oh my god.
So we were like 40 minutes away from the damn Jared's house. They were playing that kind of DJ 400 or something. And people were like trying to play in their flash drive, and like they didn't like using that, you know. And like, dude, they were calling me left and right, like, "Are you actually gonna call? Like, where you at, man?" They were getting pissed, and then I finally show up, and it like was awesome, dude. But yeah, so I started that first lake show I started was Zaps, and then I did a second lake show at 7 Points over on Chris Breeze, and that went off too.
Oh yeah, dude.
And then I had the third one, I think, was when you came out and like played with
The first one that I went to, I was really surprised because I thought that there was gonna be like 10 people.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
And then like, dude, it seemed like everybody.
All of a sudden, like you know, Fear. I think Fear played first, or I guess his name was Beatos back then, but Fear played, and then like there wasn't that many people. It was just like my homies, you know. And then all of a sudden, like I see like all these people that I like, you know, never seen before. Like I've seen in the scene. I'm like, this is crazy.
Like Soul Junk.
Yeah, Soul. Yeah, like.
Saw him, I was like, damn. And then when Jared showed up, I was like, okay.
Yeah, like when Jared showed up, I was like,
this is a thing now.
I was like, what the hell is going on here, man? But yeah, man, then I threw my third one where I think you came out and headline with the QX.
Mm-hmm.
And that was fun, man. But
it's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work, man.
Because you gotta carry all the equipment out there.
I'm telling you, dude.
So many strips, so fucking like it's heavy ass equipment too.
I'm telling you, though, after my first lake show, that was the coolest thing ever, dude. It was about to rain, and everyone that was at the lake show helped out and carried like equipment back to my car, or like people were helping each other out, man. And I was like, this is crazy, dude. I've never seen this, and like,
yeah, man,
it made me super happy when people are helping me.
I love the Nashville community, and like every single time you go out to an event, whether it's like a local one,
yeah, or
if you go out to like Mercer, you see the same people,
yeah,
you know, and it's just like, I don't know, like even though I don't really like know these people like too well, it's always cool to like.
But they always say like, "What's up?"
Yeah, or just like give a little heads up. It's like it's like a family.
Yeah,
you know?
it is, man.
I fucking love that shit.
Yeah, I mean, so a lot of my friends aren't into the like, you know, the deep dub experimental bass shit. They like the rhythm and stuff, and like the bro step stuff. Like, don't get me wrong, I like grimy, like some grimy rhythm. But I'll try to take some of my friends there, like my friend Carson Head. I'll take him to like a deep dub show, and like he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna be so fucked up for this, like so drunk, because like, this ain't my vibe." Because he doesn't like that like 140 like bassy or like, you know, halftime shit. Like he likes that like in your face like mosh pit the whole time. Like, don't get me wrong, like moshing's fun every once in a while, but like it gets tiring.
Is it fun?
Like my friend Carson Head, my buddy, he went to Murata, and no, it wasn't Murata, it was Crank That, which Crank That's pretty got some good stuff he produces. it's like some real heavy stuff, you know. And Carson went to the pit and like slashed his nose or whatever, like broke it.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I don't know, like when I first started listening to like dubstep and like EDM, like I really enjoyed the heavy stuff. But now I'm more like into like vibey shit.
Yeah.
I like the deep dub, even though I don't know how to produce it yet. I would consider like my music more like bro stuff, but it's not like too overly heavy.
I feel like yours is like kind of trappy.
Yeah, like I think I don't know. I think I have like my own vibe, and I definitely will never make any. I take that back. I might make something very heavy. Like, I might make some rhythm one day. I might make some like tear out shit. Because I would love to have like a song that I just drop like that, you know. But like I never want to have like a full EP or like an album like that.
Right.
You know, because I feel like I don't know. It's a lot of the time it's like lacking vibes. You know, and that's what I'm all about. I'm like, how can your music make me feel?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If it's just like, then I'm probably not gonna be too.
I'm telling you, that one with that chick.
Yeah, Spirals.
So I actually ran into her. There was like an open deck night at the Vinyl Lounge, and she came out to like hang out. Like no one was at the show; it was like dead as hell. But like it was open decks or whatever. And that Spirals girl, she came out and she was telling me that she was doing a song with you or working on a song with you. And I was like, what? You know Waweezy? And she's like, yeah, like we're making a song together. And I'm like, that's super dope. And she showed me some of the songs she was like, you know, saying. I was like, you're very talented.
Yeah. I mean, funny story with that is like, I wanted to make a song with a singer. And so I posted in a bunch of like Facebook groups. I was like, hey, does anyone want to make a song with me?
Yeah.
And I was getting like I got like 5 people to send me shit, you know, but in the back of my head, I knew that when I heard the person that I was supposed to make a song with, I would know.
Yeah.
And so like I go through a few people and I'm telling them like, hey, yeah, like this is good. I just want to like keep listening and see who else like turns and stuff.
Yeah.
And then when Diffie G sent in that's her voice, I was like, yep, you're it.
Well,
you're it.
Yeah.
Like immediately to stop taking requests, I was like, you're going to be on the song. Like, I love the sound of your voice.
Yeah.
You're so talented. And when we recorded, I mean, she was like a pro. Like, she went in there, she knew what she was doing. And we recorded, I don't know, maybe like 5 takes or something like that. And
where'd you go to a studio?
Yeah, I went to Omni Sound Studio next to like, in like West End.
That's pretty cool,
next to Mandy. Yeah, it's affordable. It's not like too expensive, but it's a professional studio.
Yeah, it's cool that you did that.
I think like Taylor Swift has recorded there before, and like there's some big artists that have recorded there. So
that's dope. Yeah, dude. When I heard that song got put on Headbang Society or whatever, I was like, what the fuck, dude? Like that's crazy. Like apparently, like the video is like some girl like making coffee, and she's like, "This is what I listen to when I wake up" or something. I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And then it just blew up after that, man.
It really did. I hit them up, and they were like, "Yeah, we'll do it." I was surprised.
Oh, you asked them to?
Yeah.
And they responded?
Yeah, I was so surprised because usually I'm just so used to like getting no.
Yeah, or just like no responses.
Or no response. Or sometimes I get a response, they say yes, and they still don't do it.
Yeah, they still don't do
like,
it.
Fucking, I'm about done with like Electric Hawk because like 2 times now I've hit them up. I've like asked them, hey, can you put this song in your playlist, your Fresh Hunts playlist? And like, they'll say yes, and they're like all optimistic, and they're like not really about it, you know. And they never follow through. I'm like, come on,
yeah,
like,
come on.
Like,
don't agree, don't lead me on, you know.
Exactly. If you don't like the song, just say no.
Blunt about it and be like, hey, like I don't like it, or just be like, I can't.
Yeah, I respect that so much more
than just kind of lying in my face.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like I can take a no, and then I'll be like, okay. Well, maybe like one of my songs in the future, you're like, you know, I'm sending them stuff, but like, just the way that they've like kind of treated me is just like, it's very off-putting.
Yeah. I'm super excited about that show I'm having you on September 13th over at Cobra, dude.
Cobra?
Yeah, that's really lit. Yeah, I got you and Meerkat, and I got this new guy that I just found. He actually just, Meerkat just moved in with him. His name's Imperial or something. And like this dude fucking goes ham, bro. Like he plays some really good like bass house.
Where's he from?
Nashville.
He's from Nashville?
Yeah, man.
Just no one's heard of him?
I guess not, dude. I've never heard of the guy. Apparently he played at EDC Las Vegas, like on like a bus stage or something.
Okay, word.
So the dude's pretty high up there. He plays like bass house and like ambient shit, and it was fire. I went in hung out with him or whatever, and DJ with him for a minute, you know.
Sick.
And I actually met him at they do this like cool event every year, and they've been doing it for 23 years over at the park. It's like a festival at the park over where's that?
Didn't this just happen?
Yeah, it just happened over at the Parthenon, and they've done it like multiple times, but they did it this year too, and he was there, whatever Imperial was, and he was like, yeah, I live with Meerkat now, and I'm like, you live with Meerkat now? That's dope, dude. Like Meerkat's my homeboy, like whatever, you know. And then he was showing me some of his songs, or you know, he's made like some music he likes to play, and I was like, you want to play a show? And he was like, hell yeah.
I like that, dude. I can't wait to hear him live.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean that show's gonna be cool though. Like it's at Cobra, and I mean Cobra's like a whole different place. Like
I played there before, but just like in the back.
Yeah, so they have this little side room where they do the shows and stuff, and like some people think like Cobra's kind of grimy, like not whatever, but it's like it's a good space for like a venue, and like it's cheap, you know. Like all you gotta do is get like $145 to $200 at the bar, like as a bar tab. Like they just have to make $200, and then you get your money back, you know.
Oh, that's perfect.
And then they have somebody that works the door for you.
It looks like it's been renovated.
Yeah.
Zach was telling me about it, and he showed me some videos, and the setup looks a lot different now. I don't know, maybe they did something to it, but yeah, I mean, like the last time we had a show there, wasn't it like a pretty good turnout?
Yeah, it was a Thursday, and there was a
good amount of people.
A good amount of people, man. Like I probably had I made $400 from the show.
Okay.
And so every money I make from my show, I put back into my business, you know.
Cool.
And you know, I usually give like 30 or 40% of what I make to the artist. Because I want to make sure the artists get paid, because like sometimes you play these local shows or like whatnot, and I've played local shows around here and not gotten paid, and it's frustrating because like, you know, you're still trying to make some money, and you're still trying to have fun, but you still need to make your money if you're getting asked to play, you know. And so I feel like everybody should get paid.
I mean, last two times I played at 404, I haven't gotten paid. Not a big deal.
Yeah.
You know, because it's really just like beer money, if anything.
It'd be like $40-$50, you know.
But
I mean, it's something though, dude.
Yeah,
it makes you feel good.
I feel like, honestly, like I like 404 better than Cobra, but like just the way that it's.
Yeah, I like 404 too. It could be 404 could be lit. Dude, so
so lit.
During like COVID, they were throwing shows on the outside patio from like 7 to like 10:30. And then they would go inside from like 11 to like 4 or 3 in the morning on a Sunday night, you know. And there wasn't any shows going on, so this was the only place. And like me and my buddy Carson would go there every Sunday, and there'd be like 50, 60 people there, dude. And like there'd be some like cool acts, like a bunch of like underground artists, like Paulo was getting.
Yeah.
And like it was going off, dude. It was so much fun, dude. And then like COVID ended, and like everyone stopped going there, like.
Whenever Paulo was involved, that's when it was popping.
When Paulo was doing it, and then Wesley took it over, which I don't have a problem with Wesley. Southern, he's cool. But like when he threw it, he like took over for Paulo. Well, no, it was the Bass Crusade guys, the like Fear and all them, and Cray, which no problem with them, but it kind of started dying down, and that's why they stopped doing it, because they saw no growth from it, you know. Mm-hmm. And then Wesley took over, and yeah, it went like that, bad, dude, and it tanked so hard, man. Like he was just getting. I was literally, me and like Dylan Briggs were like the DJ. He would hit up every weekend to come play. It's like you couldn't get anybody else, you know. And like he got you that one time, like brought in like the Evansville, Indiana people, you know. And that should have been like a big show, you know, because those guys are big. Like Cat Daddy,
yeah. Shout
out to Cat Daddy, it's fire, and Broke Hall, and they do that little house thing they do. But yeah, man. I just think that 404 could be something.
Yeah, maybe there needs to be like a few more people involved, just to like get some ideas flowing, you know.
Yeah, they renovated the whole place too. Like they added like a big ass stage or anything. Still didn't do nothing for them. It's sad, man, because I've like wanted to throw shows there, but nobody would want to go. Nobody wants to go there because they think it's too grimy. They don't like. There's too many homeless people around. They got like a sketchy security guard, Lorenzo, that be touching girls or something.
Ooh.
So yeah, it's a little sketchy over there. So
bad rap.
Yeah, so it's bad rap.
It's crazy how that shit, like word of mouth spreads like that.
Definitely.
It can just like ruin someone or something.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, and the girl Nancy, you know, she runs 4-4. She's like a super sweet lady, and like she's told Shaggy used to live with her, and Shaggy was telling us that like, yeah, 4-4 is going down the drain with Nancy said. So probably what they're gonna do to 4-4, like I've heard, is they're probably gonna tear it down.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh no. See, that's what makes me want to like get involved, because I feel like, I don't know. I would hope that I could like help like turn it around.
Yeah.
You know, like I feel like something like that's gonna take like an investment. Like you're gonna have to start booking like not like local artists. You're gonna have to start getting like lower tier like touring artists. You know, people that are like big enough to bring in people, but not too expensive.
I mean, they had Biotech Not, if you know who that is.
Mm-hmm.
So have you seen? There's this guy that he's got like an afro, okay, and at Los Angeles every year they put the camera on him and he's like going insane.
Oh, that dude.
Yeah, that dude.
He's always like front row.
Yeah, going ham, and like he's pretty popular, you know. So like Fear and them, they brought him in for a show there, thinking, you know, oh, there's gonna be a ton of people, but they're competing with the Sacred Hive show that night. So there's only like 20, 30 people at that show, 4-4 Biotech 9. And I mean, that was like the biggest artist I've seen there, you know. And then, well, actually, to take that back, I saw some pretty big artists there for the Unknown Festival. They did like the third day there or whatever.
Sarah Benio's played there before.
What's that?
Sarah Benio.
Yeah, she's pretty big. I've seen her there.
She has a giant following. Like, I feel like, I mean, she's playing at like major festivals and shit.
Her and Abello.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, Abello. He also played at
We're in the Woods.
Yeah, We're in the Woods, whatever, Woods Fest. And dude, they just played a show at an Ole Miss fraternity.
How'd that go?
It looked crazy, dude. They were playing like heavy dubstep and trap and stuff, and the crowd was going nuts, and it's packed out, man.
That sounds lit spot.
Yeah, I can't imagine playing for like a
college crowd.
Yeah, like, you know, they don't know EDM. A bunch of them are just frat dudes and sorority chicks that don't know EDM, you know.
I feel like,
and they're just like, let me take some Molly type thing, you know.
is that like a bad sign that like college kids aren't really like into like dubstep bass music anymore?
No, well, it's not. It's just the way some of those cats, the way they look at it, you know, like EDM music is, they're like, oh, I gotta get it fucked up and be as fucked up as possible. And it's like, they're like, let's take some Molly type stuff. It's like, when I played in Knoxville, okay, my buddy that's at a fraternity up there, he was like, yeah, I'm gonna bring some of my fraternity brothers and come or whatever. And there was like 10 of them there, and they were all rolling on Molly. I was like, what are y'all up to? Y'all your hand like, oh, you're rolling, dude. We had to be feeling right for this shit because we don't really like the music.
Oh wow.
I was like, what, dude? Yeah.
I'm gonna grab another beer.
I'll take another beer. But yeah, man, that's crazy, honestly, that you have to take freaking Molly just to feel something at a show, dude.
Yeah. You know, I feel like those are the people that you see, like, I've seen so many of the people that I used to go to shows with, like, stop going.
Yeah.
You know, and like, was it, like, did you really ever like the music in the first place? That's one thing. Or it could be like, you know, maybe they're just like settling down, having families.
Yeah, that too.
That could also be.
There's a lot of people I know that are like, I'm kids now, you know.
I feel like, you know, Jesse like Tugs from Evansville.
Yeah.
He was telling me that, you know, they're seeing that they're seeing die down a little bit, and they don't know. He doesn't know if it's just because like people aren't like into the music anymore or what.
So I'll tell you what, man. I'll tell you someone who's hustling like a motherfucker up there in Indiana is Monarch Mikey.
Yeah.
Dude, that guy, he is one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet.
He is.
One of the hardest workers I've ever seen in the scene, dude. And like he is grinding up there with nothing. No one goes. Nothing. And he had a show with Fear last weekend. And apparently that shit was popping off, dude. Like they had like a full like packed house at Lamasco's.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, dude, Mikey kind of took over that whole scene up there, and is trying to do something with it.
He just dropped a song like 2 weeks ago. It's really good.
Yeah, so he's got like 700 views on it already.
Yeah, I think it's blowing up.
Personally, like I like Mikey, and I like the song, but it's really deep, like deep dub, and like that's what Mikey really likes. He likes like a real like.
It's not even really like deep dub. It's more like experimental.
Experimental.
It's deep, but it's like very experimental. It's still heavy at the same time. I like the combination of styles.
Mikey's real into like like G Jones, E Prong, like experimental stuff. So like that's just the style of sound they like. And then like before that, he was like heavy rhythm. He still is heavy rhythm. Like he just put out like a chop shop whatever like mix where he's just like chopping the whole time, dude. It's pretty fire. So I like rhythm. So I've been to Forbidden Kingdom out in Orlando, and it's a rhythm festival. Like rhythm, and they have some deep dub and some like trap, and they had some a lot of drum and bass too. But it's like mainly rhythm, you know. And I saw Cod Dubs, who's a rhythm artist, and he did a 6-deck like stop. Like, he brought like 6-deck chopping something.
What?
And
he like 6 CDJs.
Well, he had like 6 faders or whatever. And he was chopping 6 songs or like 4 songs at a time, 5, 3, whatever. And just going crazy up there, dude.
That takes some talent.
Like if you want to hear some crazy rhythm like chopping, like that's the guy.
Oh yeah. What was the name again?
Cod Dubs.
Cod Dubs. I'll check him out.
Yeah, look him up, man. Look him up. He's really talented. And then Subtronics though, he's got some his old stuff. He's got some like chopping stuff. But, like nowadays, Subtronics is just like I don't know. He's making music that are bangers, so everybody will listen to it. You know.
You think he's kind of like slowed down a little bit?
No. Subtronics is on the rise. But I just don't like his new stuff. I feel like he's just playing or making songs for the crowd, you know?
I would say that's like selling out.
Yeah.
You don't think so? Like if you're making music for like the masses and not really like what your heart is calling for, isn't that kind of like selling out?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, like I don't know, maybe he likes the music he's putting out, maybe it's just correlating.
But I will say, seeing him live is awesome.
Dude, he puts on a damn good show.
Yeah, because all his sets are different. They're not the same. He just went back to back Excision.
He's gotten so much better too. I remember when I first saw him, like I wasn't really impressed. And I saw him at Imagine last year. I was like, damn. He mixed in some Doja Cat. I was like, damn, I would have never thought of that.
Well, dude, the man's crazy, honestly. He blew up so fast. And then he freaking got John Summit of Lost Lands to play with him, dude. Like, do a back-to-back. Like, who would have thought that? Or, like, they played a back-to-back at, like, 4. It's like, and now John Summit, like, is playing, like, rhythm in a 6 to a house crowd, you know?
I heard John Summit's kind of a dick. I mean, I bet you he's, like, one of the bros, but, like, I don't know. I've just heard some things about him.
Yeah, I've heard that, too.
Like, this chick that I was talking to at Dude Tropics last weekend, just like we were shooting shit, and she was mentioning that he like pushed some chick like off of the stage or something, or maybe not off of the stage, but he like pushed some chick and like some security guard like on his face, and he like got in the security guard's face and was like, screaming in the dude's face.
Well, you know, John Summit, he said.
I don't even know if that's true.
Yeah.
You know where mouth is.
John Summit drinks a bottle of tequila like almost every show he says.
I'm not getting good vibes from that guy.
No, dude, like you went on a podcast with the Note Boys, you know. He was like, "Yeah, man," because like he's in pretty good shape. He's like, "Yeah, I only work out like 2 times a week for 20 minutes." And then he's like, "I just drink tequila and rum the rest of the time." I'm like, "You're crazy, dude."
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if I ever met him, I'd probably like him.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know how like word of mouth is. You never know if any of the stuff is true.
Yeah, true. But no, dude, Subtronics though has come up so much, and like he did that back to back John Summit and whatnot, and that was cool. And then I don't know, like I saw Subtronics back in 2019 at the Cal, and like that set was crazy, dude. Like that was one of the best sets I've ever seen. And then my second ever festival I went to was Electric Force in 2019. Didn't really know much about EDM or whatnot.
That was my first festival.
Electric Force? Mm-hmm. What year?
2014.
Damn, dude. Yeah, I went 2019, dude. And that was a lot. Like I didn't know what to expect, you know. And I saw Subtronics for the first time ever there. And dude, he played that British Tronic song. The whole crowd, and like this was before it was even.
Was this the first time you played?
Yeah, first time I ever played, and everyone lost their marbles.
Oh yeah, I mean, I remember seeing like reactions.
Yeah, it was crazy. And then it came out, and I listened to it for a while, and it was good. Now it's just kind of overrated because like everyone's made a remix of it, you know.
Well, that's the thing about like electronic music though, is you could release like timeless music, but like everyone's just like, okay, what's your next project?
Yeah.
You know, like everyone like moves off of it so fast because like, I don't know, there are some producers that make their music like super quickly,
Yeah.
you know, and like maybe like fans just like expect artists to pump out songs.
Yeah, it's kind of like there's this guy, his name's Dirty Snatcher,
Yes.
and he pumps out a lot of music, man. Just like puts out whatever. Like you won't even tell people like he'll just like one day
Won't even
hop on Instagram and be like, hey, I made a song and it's up on Soundcloud. You can listen to it. It's like, okay, wait, where's the promotion? Yeah.
It's working out for him.
Yeah, it's working out. He's doing a really good job right now.
I feel like he's been around
Oh, dude.
for a long
No.
time. Well, I don't know what happened, but like, why is it like he's just now kind of like blown up?
Yeah, so Dirty Snatcher, like that's one of like my favorite, like if you're talking like dubstep artists, like, he's one of my favorites. And I've been following him for like since like 2021. And dude, like he's blown up like so much. It's because he played Lost Ends in 2021 and he made a song with Carbon, which Carbon actually just changed his name, by the way.
To what?
I can't remember what it is, but it's a different name. But he made a song with Carbon and he played it at Lost Ends and like, everybody lost their shit, you know. And like it went viral all over the internet and whatnot. And that's when like Dirty Snatcher really blew up, you know. And that's where he, like I've seen him at like Forbidden Kingdom now. Like I see him on all these lineups and he's like killing it, you know.
Oh yeah, well good for him.
Yeah, man.
We're all trying to get to
Yeah, I don't know. He's one of my favorite artists. So I'll always listen to music. Which his music can be rhythm or it can be deep dub or whatever it is, you know.
So you said earlier, maybe off camera, like you more so enjoy like curating events.
Oh yeah.
So are you sure about that? Like, because I know you haven't like started producing yet. So maybe if you start producing, maybe you like it more.
Oh yeah, dude. If I really took the time to sit down and learn producing, I probably would like it. Because I sat down with Mikey up in Indiana and we made a song together. But he like did most of the work, you know. He was like showing me how to do it, and like I learned a lot in that like 5 hours to make the song, and it was fun, dude. And it was called Frog Fucker.
Absolutely.
Because the first sound, the first drop sounded like
frogs,
toads and frogs, and then the second drop we actually put frog like sounds in it. So it was pretty cool, but like I'm still learning and like I probably just need to sit down and do it, you know.
Yeah, that's really all it is. Like, you know, it's probably gonna suck.
It's like when I first started DJing.
Exactly.
I had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah.
And now, you know, if I just sat down and did it.
Dude, if I showed you some of the shit that I was making, I first you'd laugh. Like, I'm still working on my craft. I'm not saying that, like, but I know
your shit's fire though, man. Honestly,
I know I've always gotten a little bit better since I first started.
Oh,
you know, like,
don't think you're bad, man. You make some fire tunes.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
It's, you know, it's only up from here. I recently, like this year, I switched to Ableton. I think that's helped me out a lot.
Yeah.
Because you can kind of like pump out songs like way faster. Like everything is like I've had this conversation like so many times. Like even on this podcast, like I've talked to Sickish and Sickish like he uses FL Studio.
Yeah.
That's what I used to use. But he's like really good and he knows like all the shortcuts.
Yeah.
You know, like he has them all memorized, so like he can like do it. He can do whatever you want, like super quick. But me, like I only have like a few of the shortcuts memorized. Yeah. Whereas like in Ableton, I don't have to have like really any of the shortcuts memorized. I can still make a song.
So you use both?
No, now I'm just using Ableton.
Okay.
Like there are some plugins and like VSTs that I don't like.
You not like using FL?
I don't.
No.
I don't like using it because it's like there's like so many fucking windows.
Yeah.
It's not streamlined.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain that, but it's like if you're trying to make a song, like, and you're getting like put in like, you're getting turned in like every single direction, like every minute. It's just, I don't know, it's difficult.
Yeah.
You know, and I wouldn't recommend FL Studio for like any beginner. It's really not like a beginner doll.
How much does FL Studios cost compared to Ableton? Cause I know Ableton's like $100 something, right?
Ableton, like because of the deluxe, is probably like 500.
Well, I got like a code for Ableton from Logan and Nature Dog. They gave me some code and like it brought the price down to like $108.
Well, I should have gotten that code.
Yeah.
But you probably didn't get like the deluxe.
No.
Because I got like 35% off because there's this course on Udemy that you could take, and the course is taught by like a Ableton certified instructor.
Is that what you sent me?
Yeah.
Dude, I need help on that.
Yeah, it's a good course just to like learn the ins and outs. It's not going to teach you how to make bass music, but it'll teach you how to use it.
Yeah, that's what I need, you know.
Yeah, and once you have that down and you can maneuver around Ableton as you want to, then it's all about like, okay, how do I learn Serum to make like bass noises or like operator or something like that, you know? But like step one is definitely like learn to draw. But yeah, I mean like, I would say that Ableton's a lot easier.
Yeah.
It just is.
But some people like FL Studios, like Sig just likes it, and he's making some good stuff from it. But like
aesthetically, it's way better looking.
But he knows it.
Yeah.
Like the ins and outs of FL Studios, what it sounds like. I mean, Excision uses at FL Studios apparently, but I feel like half of Excision's stuff is like ghost produced. Like that's just my opinion because I've heard of his stuff. Yeah, I've heard some people say that, but like nothing wrong with it, you know. But yeah, Excision's cool. You know,
not my favorite.
No, he's not my favorite either. But he puts on Lost Ends, and I have Lost Ends.
He's one of the founding fathers, though.
Yeah. So at Forbidden Kingdom, they had what they call like the Forbidden Four. I didn't go to see it because like the stage was so packed that they wanted like more people in to the stage at FK. It rained, and so they did this thing there's like 5 stages or whatever, but they took down the main stage because the main stage got struck by lightning.
Jesus Christ.
And so they went to the second main stage and they put Sullivan King, Excision, Sudden Death, and Wooly on the stage, and all the rhythm heads and like bro steppy guys like were at that stage, and it was packed, dude. And I was like, I'm not going to that. So I went and saw Peekaboo and Buku. And that shit was gas, dude.
Peekaboo is sick.
Yeah, he's been making a bunch of songs with like Skrillex.
I see, like every single video you see of like Skrillex like, dropping a song, I feel like it's just like produced by like Peekaboo. They made like 2 or 3 or something.
Yeah, they made that one like Bad Man or something that just came out, and it literally just sounds like Peekaboo. Sound.
Yeah. And that's another way of like ghost producing without ghost producing. It's just like have a feature with someone.
Yeah, and let them kind of do all the work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because Skrillex's name could take the song further than if it was just Peekaboo, right?
Yeah.
But like Peekaboo's shit is tight as fuck. So now why not just like, you know?
I mean, he did a 6-hour set at like Red Rocks, dude. Skrillex did.
I couldn't imagine.
I couldn't imagine playing that long, dude. And people went, and it was just like him on the lineup, I think. And he just played for 6 hours, and like people in the crowd were just like having a good time on it. And it'd probably be fun to be there, but for 6 hours listening to Skrillex, like, oof.
Yeah, I was never a really big fan of Skrillex. I do like a couple of his songs. I like 2, maybe 3 off of his new album, which is more than I've ever liked on any of the shit.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard Purple Lamborghini with Rick Ross?
Yeah.
That song's so good.
Yeah, it is.
That song, and there's like a few more that I like, but he was never one of like my biggest influences, but I can definitely see how like a lot of people in our circle were influenced by him.
I mean, Skrillex, he was like one of the dons of EDM, you know?
He's one of the founding fathers.
Yeah, for sure. But Tape B, though, you played a show, didn't you open up for Tape B?
Yeah.
Like, how was that? Was that lit?
It was lit.
Whoa!
They had it at this venue that is like essentially like a movie store. It's essentially like a Blockbuster.
Yeah, I think Zach played there too one time.
Yeah, and they just clear out everything, and they have like a stage. It's pretty fucking lit, I'm not gonna lie. I got to meet Tape B, OKJ.
OKJ, dude?
Yeah.
Bro, he's...
Yeah, he makes some vibey ass
God
shit. I love it. He's like a mix of like Vector and I don't even know. But I would put like Vector, Black Carl, and OKJ like all in the same category.
Yeah, right. Like, have you ever heard Stash?
No.
Man, you gotta look up stats, dude. He's fire, man.
Whenever you have an artist, like, just feel free to send it to me. We're gonna like just share it.
Yeah, I got you. Man. I'm gonna send you a bunch of stuff. You can add this man to your flash drive.
Have you heard the new Ravenscoon?
Yeah.
How do you like it?
It's different, you know.
You're not really feeling it, I can tell.
Ravenscoon's more of like his sound is kind of like, you know, bass nectar-y sound, you know.
I feel like me, because I'm heavily
I mean,
influenced.
you just saw him. How was that set at Deep Tropics?
It's good. Yeah, we were backstage, and I think he played like a bunch of the songs off of his new EP or album. But he has like the last 3 songs of that EP that he just released are my favorite that like he's probably ever produced.
Yeah.
He has like a remix of WAP that I really like. But
oh, I've heard that. That's shit's actually kind of gas.
yeah, the first 2 songs on the EP that he released are like slow.
Yeah.
And then the last 3 are like heavy as shit. So it's like if you only listen to the first 2, I can see how like you really like it. I love the last 3. But you know, I'm heavily influenced by Bass Nectar, so if Ravenscoon if he is.
Well, what do you think of the whole Bass Nectar coming to play in Las Vegas show at the pool?
It's gonna be bad vibes.
The pool, dude, at that venue, they had like a shooting there a couple years ago.
It's gonna be weird, and like I know, like none of my friends are going. Like all the crew that I used to travel, like the Bass Nectar, like none of them are going. Like I'm letting him die. You know, like I'll listen to his music. I'm not going to the shows anymore.
No, yeah, like his new album's actually pretty fire.
It is what it is, and you know he did what he did, and I think if it's true, if like the court comes out and he says like they say like you're guilty, then I think he definitely needs to like pay the consequences. You know,
just back off.
But right now, like I'm still in a state where like. Yeah, I'm making music, right? I'm DJing. I'm DJing and making music because of this guy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I always gotta remember that. But like I know that he fucked I think he fucked up.
Yeah.
You know, like most people there's evidence against him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And he probably fucked up.
Okay.
And so it's just important to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
But like I never wanna like I think there's not enough like gratitude shown in life. In general, like there's like religions where like at a certain time of every day, like you gotta get down on your knees and just like pray and like put up gratitude. And I think that's special. You know, like not enough people are like showing up gratitude. Yeah. So like I just want to make sure that like even though like he fucked up and I'm not going to shows anymore, like I still have it on all my profiles. Like I'm influenced by Bass Nectar, Zed's Dead, Hero. Yeah. You know, like. And I'm not gonna act like, oh, like I didn't go see like fucking 39 of his shows. Like that's a part of my life. I have a tattoo of his symbol on my shoulder.
Like some people are like, you know, went around and followed him a lot, you know, like fuck Bass Nectar. Like I don't want anything to do with Bass Nectar.
I get that.
I get that too.
I get it.
But like also like he's probably what got you into EM and like the bass scene, the heat up scene, the experimental bass type.
How many of your friends have you made because of him?
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
That's a lot of people.
I've only been to 5 Bass Nectar shows, but they've all been fun.
Well, you're a little bit younger.
Yeah, I'm 24.
24. So I mean, dude,
he was popping off in like 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18.
Dude, he was popping off 2010, 2011, 2012. Like he was selling out New Year's shows.
Dude, I mean, he did shows at he did a couple of New Year's Eve shows at Bridgestone Arena.
He did like 4 in a row, actually.
Yeah, that's crazy to me.
4 years in a row.
I remember like my brother and like my sister, like they're into like, you know, country and rock and stuff, which nothing wrong with that. But they were like, they went to Bass Nectar because it's the thing to do because all their friends went. And they were like, they'll tell me now that when they went, they were like, that was crazy ass shit. Like I've never seen anything like that or heard anything like that.
You ever go to any of the New Year's shows?
Oh yeah, I went to the one in Kentucky.
Dude, those things were just like different. And you know, I don't know, like I'm probably gonna get like backlash from the last like 5 minutes of our conversation. But he let a lot of people down.
Yeah.
You know, like a lot of people like Bass Nectar going to the events, like meeting up with their homies, like that was their thing. And then all that shit went down. So dude,
everybody's
let us down.
Well, because he let people on. Because, you know, he was always about peace and love. And all that stuff, and like people are like, wait, this guy's kind of like being a hypocrite in a way, you know? Because like I felt like he was saying, like he was preaching stuff, and then he wasn't doing it himself, you know?
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it.
But